Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are a Greater Westtown Training Partnership here on the Job Help Hotline. My name is Danjuma, and I'm sitting here with Charlie Negron. He's one of the instructors at Greater Westtown, along with me. Thanks for coming by, Charlie.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. So we're here at the Job Help Hotline. We are informing you of our wood products manufacturing training program. And if you're someone that likes working with your hands and getting their hands dirty working in a wood shop, this may be the program for you. We are located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard. Our phone number is 312-563-9570. You can visit us on the web at www.gwtp.org. And as you can see here, we have orientations, but since we're here, we're going to talk a little bit more about the program, actually. So, Charlie, tell us about this program.
Okay. Well, basically, if the people are out there interested, it is a 15-week training program. We have a class that's going to be starting January 9th. And what we do with the training program is get people interested or involved in looking at the manufacturing sector, in woodworking in particular. So what it is that we work on small projects with our students and kind of introduce them to all the machineries that they might see in a typical woodworking shop to make parts for furniture cabinetry. And that's done with the goal of getting placed on a job afterwards. So the students are learning safety, they're learning machine operation, they're learning the different types of tools that are used to make these projects. They're learning blueprint reading, they're learning math skills, tape measurement. The other things that not in the shop but incorporated also is English and job readiness classes with a lot of computer work. So we do have some CNC equipment in the shop that will introduce our students to kind of work on. So we have computers that are set up with the software. So we have a brand new CNC equipment that's coming in January, so people might be interested in maybe even taking a look at that. So there's a lot of things that we're really excited about going into the 2017 new year.
Okay. So once again, we're Greater Westtown Training Partnership. Wood Products Manufacturing Training. Actually, looks like we have a caller. Hi, caller.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I wanted to know, I really like using computers. Would I get to use computers in this industry, or is it just like hand tools?
Charlie.
Well, it depends. So you might get into a shop where you're working with just typical equipment, and then there's some manufacturers out there who are more advanced with technology, so they might use CNC equipment, which is all computer based. So the software used is basically Windows operated software. So yeah, there's plenty of that in our training program. We understand it, so we do have a computer lab. We have a mobile computer station where we have laptops where we could bring out, because we know we just never know what type of job that the students might get into. So we try to incorporate all of these different avenues of woodworking, either the typical manufacturing side or maybe the more advanced side with the computers. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, you said what? You said CN what?
CNC, which is computer numerically controlled.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So maybe you guys have heard of that. The CNC programming is one of the components, and CNC is like you said, computer numerically controlled. So is it like automated?
Yeah. So sometimes people, you hear CNC and they think medical, right? Because that's the first thing. It's not anything medical related. It's computer numerically controlled. So it's basically controlling all of the hardware on those automated equipment using computers.
Okay. So what kind of background would I need to qualify for this training? Do I have to have any experience?
You do not have to have any experience. So we have people coming through with no experience whatsoever. We as instructors, we take it as no one knows anything about it, although they might come in at different levels.
Okay.
And the reason why we want to do that is that we have a set of curriculum, we have a set of safety standards, we have a set of projects that we want to try to slowly kind of build up a skill level from a foundation standpoint. So that way, as they're going through these small projects, they're working on their skill level and sort of advanced throughout the projects,
Okay.
throughout the 15 weeks. So, at first they might be, working on a small little box, and that's pretty typical. If you could get a small box, perfect. You could take that same technique and make it a little bit wider, right? A little bit taller.
Okay.
And then you got a base cabinet, right? Make it even taller, right?
Yeah.
You've got a library system. So, if you think about cabinets, right, they're just pretty much boxes. It's what you do with those boxes that really bring in the worth. So those are just small things that we want to do. So getting back to your initial question is that people don't have to come in with those skill levels. It's our job as instructors to kind of hopefully just kind of bring them through. But I will tell you that the person who makes a good candidate for our training program is a person who likes, to work with their hands, a person who likes to kind of think on their feet, a person who likes to, is going to be dependable, reliable, who kind of wants to take ownership of what they're learning. Those people make really good candidates and really good students for this type of training program.
Okay. So for those of you who may be just joining in, we're Greater Westtown Training Partnership. We run a wood products manufacturing training program, 15-week intensive course in wood products and manufacturing. And Charlie, one of our instructors, was just explaining how we take people with no experience and we teach them woodworking. So I don't have previous experience, but my education, if I don't have a high school diploma, is that something that I need?
Well, tell you what, let me give you a little bit of the qualifications to come to
Okay.
our training program. I might answer your question as I do that a little bit. So the qualification, the person has to be at least 18. They have to test at a 6th grade level in math and reading.
Okay.
So, what we'll do is in the orientation as you're coming through and applying to the training program, we might give you a test just to kind of see if you're going to be able to handle the classwork. And the most important aspect of that is the reading and the math, right?
Okay.
Because, you think about making cabinets, they have to be precise, right? They got to be certain dimensions. So we bring in that math element to kind of figure out, okay, if you're making 5 pieces to a cabinet, I need to figure out what all those pieces are, right?
All right. Yeah.
Cut those to those sizes and then bring them together so that way they fit the dimensions that you might see on a drawing. Right? So imagine if, again, you have a kitchen counter and you're going wall to wall with cabinets. If they're all, this small, right, you can have a gap at that last end by the wall. Or if they're that much bigger, right, then that last cabinet is not going to fit at all. So this is where, the precision comes into play. We talk about math and just kind of bringing things together. We're not doing like calculus or advanced physics or anything like that.
All right.
It's basic math, adding, subtracting. We do get into division and multiplications, fractions, things of that nature.
Okay.
Metrics is involved, but we got excellent teachers that are able to kind of bring that whole subject matter into a classroom and hopefully make it easier for students as they're coming into the training program. Now let me get back to the qualifications, right? I talked about the math part of it. They have to be low income.
Okay.
Everybody who comes to our training program, we don't want them to worry about training costs coming out of their pocket whatsoever. So we'll ask them for documentation of how they're supporting themselves. There's funding out there, so you don't have to worry about those things. So if you're low income, if you're maybe receiving public aid of some type, either maybe SNAP benefits or SSI, or maybe unemployment, that would qualify you. Or maybe you are working and you're maybe have a family of 5 and under a certain income bracket that will also qualify you for that. And the most important part of this qualification is the person has to pass a drug test. We work with heavy equipment in the shop. They do one thing, they cut. They don't care what they cut, so we want to make sure people are focused in the shop. They have a good frame of mind and stuff like that. So those are the 4 qualifications for entering our training program.
So you heard that, folks. If you are interested in our wood products manufacturing job training program, give us a call at that number on the bottom of your screen. You can call and speak to us live right now, 312-738-1060. Also, if you're interested, but maybe you're just still thinking about it and not sure, you can check us out at, we're located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard. Give us a call there, 312-563-9570, or catch us on the web. So, Charlie, you mentioned the qualifications. So what's the application process like?
Well, let me walk a person through it. So if someone's interested and, they're thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? The first thing to do is just go ahead and give us a call at our location. So he's going to put that number on the board. See if you can go ahead and jot that down. And most likely you might reach me, you might reach Danjaman on the phone, you might reach some of the other staff, and what we'll do is invite you to come in. And basically that first day you come in, it's going to be an information session. And what I'm going to try to do if I'm doing an orientation and talking to you guys is try to make sure that you have enough information to make sure that this type of training program is going to be right for you, right?
Okay.
So we'll ask questions, we'll kind of give them, kind of brief description about what's going to be going on. We'll give them a tour of the training program so they could actually go into the shop and see what some of the current students are working on.
Oh, nice.
And that's the idea of, coming in there and just kind of see kind of the hands-on project that students working on and say, whoa, if they could do that, I could do that too. And that's the whole idea. So, and we'll give them an application during that whole process too. And that's the first thing is they're going to go out and start filling that out. Our application process is, kind of 4 steps. So, they're going to be coming in for their information. They'll fill out the application. At some point, they might, come in for testing, again, just to see if they test at a 6th grade level math and reading. And, as they come in, we'll bring them through that whole, application process.
Okay.
So that's the first step. Just give us a call. We have the orientations on Tuesday at 8:45 a.m. If you're interested in coming by and just kind of checking us out, feel free. Our doors are open to anybody who wants to come in and check us out.
Okay, nice. So you heard him. Check us out. We're at 500 North Sacramento. You can give us a call at 312-563-9570 to come in and schedule your appointment for an orientation. We have the next set of classes that's starting January 9th as well. So make sure you give us a call and come on in. You can also catch us on the web, www.gwtp.org. And
Facebook too.
And Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, actually you can catch us on Facebook too. Looks like we have another caller. Caller, hi.
Hi, I just started watching, so I probably missed some of your presentation. But one, where can this training lead to in terms of employment? What kind of employment could I get after completing this training program? And two, is it a good program for women to participate in?
Those are very good questions. Charlie.
So the industry in manufacturing it is pretty diverse. You could go into working at maybe a lumber mill. That's probably on the kind of, for me, that's like, you're cutting down trees, and that's the first aspect of this whole woodworking thing where you're processing a tree and getting it to a point where you could actually manufacture, components for leg tables or panel products and stuff. So I see that, and to me that's a little out there.
Okay.
Because you're talking about the elements and these lumbers and debarking trees and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. But there's places around here that do that. People might, say, man, I want to go ahead and maybe work in the elements all year round and, kind of do that, which is pretty cool. There's other components where you might be mass producing cabinet parts using CNC equipment.
Okay.
Right. So I know there's a company. We're going to be doing a tour of a company. I think next week, actually, and what they do is just do these closet systems in an area of, I think they're located outside of the city a little bit. But, I've been to the shop before, and they have tons of CNC equipment, this automated stuff, and you see these robots just kind of moving around and just drilling holes and making these parts, which is pretty cool. High-end cabinetry. you see these kitchen cabinets. I know you have a slideshow later on and stuff. Maybe you might see some of the things that they make. Kitchen cabinets. What else? Musical instruments, furniture. So those are just some of the aspects of where students can go and get placed on a job afterwards. So it's pretty diverse. So for the person who likes thinking on their feet, the person who likes kind of doing the higher end kind of stuff, there's stuff out there for the people who like the manufacturing and the computer part of it. There's that aspect of it. So and the thing is that we got companies calling us for people. Our biggest problem right now is finding enough people to get placed on those jobs.
Okay. And was there another question? Was it?
Oh, and was it good for women?
Yes.
Our training program has about 20%. I would say maybe 10, about 15% women.
Okay.
In the training program. And we have, really good success with women. They hold their own in the shop just like the men. Right. And they're not afraid of this type of job. And for other women who are thinking about, is this something, for me? I usually bring out the aspect back in World War II when all the men were out fighting the war. It was the women that were coming into this manufacturing field and producing all of these amazing products. You don't hear about it a lot, but you can look at these old clips and you have these, hundreds and hundreds of women, and they're out there and they're holding these, these big parts, and they're putting this stuff together, these planes and things of that nature and stuff, and they were out there and they were doing it up, So for the women out there, this, could be the same interesting type of field. I know they bring the unique eye to detail and quality in a lot of shops too, because it's usually the woman that make the home pretty.
Okay.
So it's usually the mom. It's not the dad. The mom's over there. She's making things look real nice. They bring that same type of quality to the parts they make and the job setting also and stuff like that. Yep.
All right.
So.
Well, I hope that answered your question, caller.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for calling in. So, we are located at 500 North Sacramento, Greater Westtown Training Partnership, Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. As Charlie said, we have orientations on Tuesdays at 8:45 a.m. Give us a call at 312-563-9570. Jot that number down to reserve your seat. So, actually, I think we did bring in some pictures of things going on, maybe in the shop and some projects. So, how about we show the viewers out there and maybe you can talk us through them?
Sure. I think we got some pictures of our students kind of working in the shop. So, yeah, here you go. You have a female, and here, right towards the end of that bunch, she has processed some lumber and she's making a table leg. So one of the first projects that we used to work on was a small little kind of stool, kind of table thing. And the idea with that was to make a very simple box, laminate it, and get them on the machines, get them working on that first project. And hopefully after about 4 weeks, they would have their first project to actually take home. So let's see if there's another picture in there. So here you go. Yeah, there's the table leg. Basically, right now it's pretty much assembled. And at this point, this student is attaching those table legs to that laminated box. So it's inverted right now. It's upside down. But it's a nice little project. It gets their hands on the tools. They learn the safety of the different types of machines that are used to cut those pieces and bring those parts together. They work on the solid the solid lumber to construct those legs, and they'll use machines to do that. This is another aspect of woodworking is veneer work. So she has these strips of walnut veneer, and if you notice, they kind of look pretty repetitious. That's because that veneer has been sliced from a tree. Kind of very similar to what you might see in a deli counter at a meat place, where if you take those pieces of meat and kind of open them up, they kind of like look like a mirror image of each other. So she's taking the best aspect of that veneer. She cut them to a certain sizes and stuff, and she'll tape them later and apply that to, maybe make a cabinet or something.
Okay. So, Greater Westtown Training Partnership. Give us a call at the number on your screen, right there, or check us out on Facebook or on our website. And if you're interested for job training in wood products manufacturing, so tell me a little bit about what happens when a person completes training.
So one of the things that we'll do also is probably about week 10, we kind of turn our hats a little bit and start getting into the job placement part of our services.
Okay.
So, the goal of any student coming into our training program is to get them a job or get them prepared for a job.
Okay.
And what we want to do is, give them a good foundation. They're not really going to be skilled in any type of or expert in anything as they're coming through the training program, but what they will do is get a good foundation to get their feet in the door of a company. So, we do job placement afterwards. So we have a database of about maybe 500 existing woodworking companies in the city of Chicago, maybe some of the outlying suburbs. And what we'll do is go ahead and maybe start calling some of these companies and asking for interviews. For our students, so that way they could get some good practice. It could be a mock interview, maybe at a company, or it could actually be an interview. The good thing is that you get an opening for a student to go interview. You just never know what might happen. I had instances where a company called and they were like, "Hey, I want to interview somebody. Have one opening, and send 3 people," and he hires 2 of them.
Okay.
Which is nice. So. As long as our training's been in existence for about 23 years, the good thing is that our students go on, the students who've been placed on a job 12, 14, 16 years ago, they're managers now. And what they're doing is calling us and say, "Hey, I need I need some help," right? So basically, it's a cycle where the students who've come before them have opened the doors for people who are coming in afterwards. And again, it's like this community thing. So we're working with the Chicago community, right? We're giving them these skills. They're getting placed on these jobs from employers in the Chicago area, right? So it's this kind of cycle of the community residents getting these skills, going in, working in the community, manufacturing. Plants and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And it's all about this whole community experience where we're matching up these employers and residents who might not have no skills and getting them back on their feet. Maybe getting them retrained in a specific area of woodworking. I know there's people out there thinking, "Wow, this might be a good thing. I got an arts background."
Yeah.
This is more long-term, kind of career-orientated, career path for our students.
So hold that thought. Looks like we have another caller. Caller, yes.
Yes, I have a question in regards to the program. Is this a continuation, or is there an ending period, or is this an ongoing process? After you've completed the course, does it continue to roll forward?
Okay.
Well, the main goal of the training program is to get people placed on a job afterwards. So that's the goal, is that job placement. So for a student who may have been placed on a job, if they're looking to maybe expand their skills a little bit more, maybe they've been let go of a company for whatever reason, maybe the company closed, they could call us back and we'll go ahead and see if we could go ahead and maybe place them on another job with they might have 4 or 5 years of experience in their background, which is a great help for other companies who are looking for that type of skill level. So you have all of that.
Hope that answered your caller. So it's almost time for us to leave you guys. So if you have another question, give us a call at the number at the bottom of your screen, 312-738-1060. Also, you can check us out. We're located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard. That number there, write that number down, 312-563-9570. You can get in contact with us as well. So I'd like to thank you, Charlie, for having...
It's always great to be back
here
on CAN TV and talking to the people out there who might be looking for a different avenue, different skill level. Just want to say, you know, happy holidays to everybody out there. This is the gift that keeps giving. So if they want to think about, you know, maybe coming into the training program, give us a call.
Thank you, guys.